Today, we're looking at 12 players that are looking to make a huge impact in your fantasy leagues. But before we dig in, you need to click that subscribe button right now. We're ranking the running backs. We're ranking the wide receivers. We're covering draft strategies, and we're going to help you set your lineups all season long. Click that button. Stop missing out. We're going to help you win some leagues this year. But Kyren Williams, he gets a lot of work. Sean McVay loves him. They drafted another running back. They got Blake Corum. Those guys are waiting in the wings. But we've heard that throughout his career as well. We do have some efficiency dichotomies there. As you see in the advanced metrics, true yards per carry, 37th among running backs. Yards per touch, 47th among running backs. Juke rate, 29th among running backs. 52nd among running backs in yards created per touch. 31st in routes ran among running backs. There are some efficiency dichotomies in him, but he gets a lot of work. He gets a lot of opportunities. One of the top running backs in snaps, one of the top running backs in touches, targets out of the backfield. This is a running back that's just always out there, even on punt returns. They made that a big deal last year, that he was going to get so much work on punt returns that he was not going to be able to handle a full workload. We drafted another running back in this year's draft. Hunter's a solid running back. Blake Corum's a solid running back prospect. And one of those guys could get an opportunity somewhere down the line. The caveat to everything I just said, though, is the injury bug. But that could bite any running back. He is getting a lot of work. He is getting a lot of opportunity. 17.4 points per game. Getting drafted in round 3 in underdog drafts. And he's also going in that area where things are starting to get ambiguous with the running backs. The workload's there. It's been there till it's not. And Kyren Williams has always had question marks around him from the start of his inception to the NFL till now. Those are the buy tactics for him. The sell tactics is so much work. We got two very talented running backs waiting behind him. They could decide to make this a committee if one of those running backs start hitting it pretty hard. That could potentially happen. That's always going to be there. But Kyren Williams, so far, has been getting immense workload. Another thing that can sell you out of him is the efficiency dichotomies there that you're seeing in the numbers. The work rate's booing him. However, the efficiency dichotomies could creep in to that workload and could allow one of those other running backs to get that opportunity. And next thing you know, they're playing well, and then you got a committee. However, Kyren Williams is a good running back. He's still good. He's in an offense that can move the chains. He's very reliable. Sean McVay loves him. You can't keep him off the field. He was getting too much work last year. They love him so much that they can't get him off the field. Look for that to be the same unless something changes with the other running backs. Looking at Xavier Worthy, a lot of upside here going into year 2. This could be a wide receiver that just springboards. We saw that a little bit last year on the back end of the season. He could develop into much more. Rashee Rice is there. This offense could cook even more this year. It could be more explosive. Travis Kelce might see a reduction in workloads, touches, opportunities. He's older, could even get banged up due to that. But the thing is, we have potential. He flashed that last year, and there's opportunity for him to develop into more. And you're looking at the numbers here. You're looking at the yards after the catch. You're looking at the routes ran. Everything's increasing. 17.2% target share in this offense last year is not too bad, especially as a rookie. That should ramp up this year in his second season, and it ramped up weeks 15 to 17. All these numbers from the whole season are down due to his rookie ramp up. Like I say, all rookies usually have some sort of ramp up, and next thing you know, you see them springboard if they're going to hit. We're already seeing that with Xavier Worthy. He's looking good in practice, and maybe we get a little bit more here in year 2. We're getting drafted around the 4th round. We have the upside, and the upside is that we could springboard to pass some of those guys in round 3. Some of them, not all of them, where the other wide receivers in that area, you kind of know what you're going to get. When you're looking at Travis Etienne, you're looking at a cheap running back that's still running with the ones with the Jacksonville Jaguars. That could change by the time the season ends, but you're looking at all the other running backs here, and you're just hoping that they get that opportunity that Travis Etienne already has right now, and he's running with the ones. He's getting that opportunity. He's the 33rd running back off the board, 101 overall. Etienne's a good running back, and he showed that a few years ago. Last season, he had a down year. So if we revert back to what we were, this could be a running back that exceeds expectations immensely. If we don't, then he's probably going to be in line with the running backs around this range. Maybe some of the others hit. You're also looking at the wide receivers in this area. It's thinned out. you're looking at the quarterbacks here, you can really make your moves on what you want to do. Honestly, it's one of the few current RB1s that are left on their team that's still on the board. You're looking at Stefon Diggs. Stefon Diggs is coming back from the injury. That is the huge question mark here with him. We saw him in minicamp run some routes, looking pretty good. We saw the workout clips looking pretty good. Round 7 ADP right now. When he's on the field with Drake May, I imagine he's going to lead the team in targets. I think he's going to rack up a good target share. I think ADOT's going to be low. That could mean volatility, but that could also mean some spike weeks. When you're looking at the wide receivers in his range, Downs, Shakir, Reed, Golden, Pearsall, everybody in this range is a little bit ambiguous. Stefon Diggs is a top-tier talent on the back nine of his career, coming back from an injury. That is the huge question mark with him. How will he connect with Drake May? Drake May's never had a talent like this before, so imagine he's going to look his way quite often. You're looking at Braylon Allen, 53rd running back off the board on Underdog Fantasy. He's cheap. He showed some promise last year. Something happens to Breece Hall. You got yourself a very good running back prospect, very productive at Wisconsin, a young physical runner, and you're looking at some of the efficiency metrics. Nothing outstanding there, but a guy that gets work in the passing game as he's running a fair amount of routes per game, considering he's the 1B back. He's running almost 9 routes a game, 8.4, 8.5 routes. That being said, that's a lot for being a 1B back. It's not like he's a satellite back or anything like that. They're using their running backs in the passing game. He's good up the gut. He's good around the goal line. And he's going into his second year of his career where he's getting drafted in the area of fantasy drafts where a lot of RB2s, backup running backs are being selected. You're looking at Jalen Noel. The reason why I pulled him up today in this player list is because when you look at the wide receivers and running backs in his range, and when you think of the range of outcomes that could happen this season and upside players, he's one of the few that could immensely exceed expectations, surprise us, and come out of nowhere. This is a guy that's always open. You got Christian Kirk there clogging the roster. Something could happen to him to allow him to get his opportunity, but this is an immense talent here that could materialize. You got to watch him during training camp. You got to watch him in preseason to see if he's getting more run. But this is a player that somewhere down the line, I'm talking week 8, maybe next year, somewhere down the line could climb the depth chart and become a big thing for the Texans. Krosky Merritt is a huge running back prospect who is free. He's not getting drafted in a lot of leagues. 73rd running back off the board. And if something happens to Brian Robinson, Austin Eckler, he could be fantasy relevant, if not very productive. Jeremy McNichols had some weeks last year. Krosky Merritt could be in line for the same thing if this backfield gets banged up. That could potentially happen. We're getting drafted 241 off the board overall. A lot of leagues, undrafted free agent, another rookie running back that you need to be paying attention to throughout the season. Watch the work rate, watch the touches. You don't really have to draft them, but I suggest you draft some of these young running backs because if they get thrusted into some opportunity, they could go off. Krosky Merritt is a running back that we're paying attention to. Zay Flowers. He gets a lot of run in this offense. Has a good target share at 25.7%. ADOT's good at 10.4. We're getting 6.8 targets per game. That lends to volatility, though. The volume's not always there because they run the ball heavy and they target the tight end heavy. He's still the wide receiver 1 on this team. And when the workload is there, when the game script is going in his favor, when we're looking at 50 over-unders in those matchups, we're looking at him getting opportunity. He's also going in a range where the wide receivers are getting volatile. The running backs are a little bit older. And if you're looking for something that could be rather consistent, you're looking at Zay Flowers. That could be him. George Pickens has upside but could be very volatile in that offense. Calvin Ridley, you do not know what he's going to be like with the new quarterback. Jalen Waddle, can we get right? I like Waddle at that price. Romo Dunze is an upside play. Travis Hunter's an upside play. If you're looking for consistency, and if you're not looking for a pure speculative gamble for the top, Zay Flowers is a wide receiver to look at. Caleb Johnson is one of my favorite picks in this year's draft. Round 6 draft capital, but I imagine he's going to end up finishing the year being the guy for the Steelers, if not the whole damn team. And he's going to get a lot of work. He's going to get a lot of opportunity. He is expensive for a rookie running back, but he's also in that range year after year where we see second-round running backs usually go that have ACLs on them. Shout out the Brooks last year. RJ Harvey, Trevion Henderson, Caleb Johnson. We're watching those rookie running backs. I'm also talking about them. because I'm pulling strings on all of them in this range, and I'm taking turns. I'm diversifying from those running backs. Caleb Johnson is a back that could go nuclear. There's a lot of upside to his game. You're going to have to hold him for the full season, though, because there could be a rookie ramp-up. But considering the price you're paying, if you can't handle the ramp-up, a slow start to the season when it comes to fantasy production, you may want to go another route like a David Montgomery or James Conner. Those guys are much more safer and probably smarter plays for redraft. But if you're looking for more upside, those rookie running backs, you want to shoot on those. When you're looking for upside, Rome Odunze's your dude. Wide receiver 33 off the board, round 5 draft capital. As a rookie, the numbers are looking good. A lot of people are down on it, but the numbers are looking good. A 19.2% target share and 8 out of 13.8. For fantasy football, that's solid, considering what the offense was looking at last year with offensive line play and everything else. A rookie quarterback back there. Quarterbacks in year 2. New offensive system, which seems positive, and we're looking at a revamp of the offensive line. We could see him cook a little bit more this year, or it could be just a little bit better. And even if it's a little bit better, and you're looking at the spike weeks could be there. Considering DJ Moore is probably going to soak up most of the targets, look for him to get a 20+% target share, probably 20 to 22% with DJ Moore getting the most, and his ADOT's going to be above 11. Look for him to get deep shots downfield. I look for him to build some consistency in fantasy production while having some spike weeks. He also has the talent. He was a first-round pick. That could build up to being more. I think the worst thing that could happen is you get what you got last year, but he's going to be on the field. He's going to run a lot of routes, maybe even more this year. Running 32.5 routes a game last year as a rookie. That's a good sign. That is a very good sign. That's very promising. You're catching him at a very expensive price tag where you can get some dependable running backs here, and it's almost the last line of defense of dependable running backs if you're looking at route, if you didn't go early running back, which means you're kind of heavy at wide receiver already, so you may look the other way. But if you're looking for upside, this is one of those plays. Trey Benson, upside dandy, round 12, cheap, appropriately priced here to where if James Conner doesn't get hurt this year, you don't even notice it. You just dump him and move on to the next rookie running back. That's the flavor of the week off the waiver wire. But the upside's there. We got 4.3 speed. We got size. We're explosive. We have 2 RB2 weeks last season. We got some opportunity on the field. Amari Demercado will be thrusted in there somewhere down the line. But Trey Benson has the potential to go nuclear in this offense. And we got a lot of running backs like that in this year's draft, more than last year. However, the price is so cheap. It's so cheap. Like, it's easy to take a shot on him. And like I said, if it doesn't materialize, it won't matter because it's so cheap. There's no sunk cost there invested in him. But if he hits, he's probably going to win your league for you. Now we're looking at Rico Dowdle. If you're looking at somebody that's dependable in a backfield where they're looking to use him, give him some opportunity, they're going to work him in line with Chuba Hubbard. Last year, they were mentioning so much prior to the season, right before the season started, that they were trying to get a mixed bag of work between Miles Sanders and Chuba. Miles Sanders is a training camp dandy. He might gaslight the Cowboys into making him a starter. That being said, Rico Dowdle might be thrusted into some work. It may not be upside work fantasy-wise, but it could be something to look at if you got Chuba. If I got Chuba, I might be looking at Rico because if Chuba goes down, Rico's good enough to hold it down. We saw that last year. We saw that with the Cowboys. So that might be a good tandem to have. They may eat from each other a little bit this year. That is the risk with Chuba. That is the risk with Rico. There's really no risk with Rico when you're getting drafted in round 15 of underdog drafts. But the upside is if something happens to Chuba, you know for sure you got a running back that can compete in the league. O'Marin Hampton. Upside City, just did a video on him. Go check that out for the full opinion and all the numbers. But his value is going to increase. He jumped James Cook. I look for him to go early 4th. Look for him to go late 3rd. I look for him to jump value. I look to continue the rise the ranks of ADP. I look for him to continue to get expensive. And I look for him to take over this backfield eventually. Could be week 1, week 6, week 10. It's going to happen. It's going to happen sooner than later. He's going to look good in training camp. And everybody's going to be put on notice. The price was very palatable these last few weeks. Now it's going to be priced appropriately because the difference between him and Ashton Genty was 4 rounds. That gap is going to get squeezed out. O'Marin Hampton's going to get the work in this backfield. He's got the speed to burn. He's got first-round pick. He's got the workload from college football. He can catch the ball in the backfield. He's good in space. Look for him to be the guy for the Chargers. But those are the players we're looking at today. Let me know what you think in the comments below. I want to hear about that. Make sure to hit that subscribe button on the way out. One thing for watching. Catch you on the next video.